Ladies and gentlemen, I have always opined on this platform that in politics, nothing happens out of mere coincidence, and that everything in politics is normally well planned, well scripted, and executed to achieve a specific political objective. Nothing in politics just happens for the sake of it. Kenya Kwanza today unveiled their 5-member team for dialogue with Azimio La Umoja One Kenya Alliance. And I've gone through that list and compared it to Azimio La Umoja One Kenya Alliance. And I find myself asking several questions. For example, why is it that nobody from that list is directly linked to Musalia Mudavadi? Was Musalia Mudavadi deliberately left out of the list? And the other question I'm asking myself, why is it that Kenya Kwanza list doesn't have someone in the caliber of Stephen Kalonzo Musyoka? And again, I'm asking myself, who in this list is representing the Deputy President Rigathi Gachagua? Let us begin by going through this letter, because in this video, I want us to do a critical analysis about the list which has just been released. This is the statement which Kenya Kwanza released. The Kenya Kwanza dialogue team, it says, the Kenya Kwanza coalition wishes to state the following. I want you to pay close attention to the tone of this statement. Number one, that honoring the request by former Nigerian President Olusegun Obasanjo not to be mentioned in any public statement, we regret the lack of decency by Azimio in not respecting the request. You see, Kenya Kwanza never wanted this issue to be viewed as foreign intervention. And that's why they didn't want the name of Obasanjo to be mentioned anywhere. And number two, it says, Azimio at the very least should have the decency to abide by the 5 issues agreed at the meeting. Kenya Kwanza, through Kimani Ichung'wah, had actually released the 5 issues. I don't think that Obasanjo can come to Kenya just to discuss with Kenya the position being held already by Musalia Mudavadi. I don't think the issue of the office of the Prime Cabinet Secretary is an issue which Obasanjo came to solve. So Kenya Kwanza that's an outright lie. And it says, consequently, as agreed, we nominate our Kenya Kwanza team comprised of the following. And I want you guys to pay very close attention. Number one, Kimani Ichung'wah, the leader of majority, National Assembly and team leader. So which means Kimani Ichung'wah is going to be the team leader. The other side, they have Kalonzo Musyoka. Number two, Aaron Cheruiyot, leader of majority. So Aaron Cheruiyot will be representing Senate. On Azimio side, they have Okongo Omogeni, the Nyamira senator. Number three, they have Honorable Cecil Mbarire, the Embu governor. If you go the other side, they have from outside parliament, they have Kalonzo, for that matter, and Eugene Wamalwa. And then they have number 4, Hassan Omar, who is also outside parliament. On the other side, they have Wamalwa, and either Wamalwa or Kalonzo. And then Honorable Catherine Wambelianga. I think this one here represents Ford Kenya and women. On ODM side, they have Mnyazi, the Malindi member of parliament. And now this team is mandated to engage on the 5 agenda agreed upon, namely, they are talking of the 5 agendas which were agreed on. Number 1, the reconstitution of IBC. Of course, that was agreed. Number B, implementation of the 2/3 gender rule. I don't think Obasanjo came to Kenya for this gender rule, because this gender rule has been in this country since the promulgation of the constitution in 2010, the issue of the gender rule. I don't think Obasanjo came to discuss that. So Kenya Kwanza should not play politics with the intelligent Kenyans, okay? Number 3, entrenchment of Constituency Development Fund. Again, I'm not sure whether Obasanjo, a foreigner, would be interested in CDF. I don't even know whether Obasanjo is aware that we have what is called CDF. Number 4, they are saying establishment and entrenchment of the office of the leader of the opposition. On this, I agree that the international community, and I've always explained, the United States of America and the British government are keen on having the office of the official opposition leader fully funded. They are willing to pump a lot of money because William Ruto was their project and they understand his weakness. So he must be checked. And they're also saying, seeing amendment of the office of the Prime Cabinet Secretary. I don't even think this is the issue. Because when Kenyans went to the street, they went to the streets for several issues. One of them was the cost of living. I don't think Kenyans went to the street because of the office of Musalia Mudavadi, which is already earning salary. And they are saying, and I want you guys to pay very close attention also to this. They are saying, for the avoidance of doubt, as agreed, violence shall no longer and shall never be part of our nation's political discourse. Azimio, on the other side, are talking of police brutality. They are going to discuss. So for them, it's not going to be discussed. And they're saying, as agreed, there shall be no discussion of whatever nature on matters handshake or nusmukate. This is, I think, on that, they're just addressing their supporters because Azimio has made it very clear they don't want anything to do with the handshake. They don't want anything to do with the power sharing. They can keep their government. But that's not important. I want us to go through this particular list and try to understand why, for example, Kimani Ichung'wah was appointed, why Aaron Cheruiyot was appointed, why Cyril Marire was appointed, Hassan Omar, and Wambilienga was appointed. But before we go into all those details, in case you're watching this channel for the first time, please take a second or two, click that subscribe button so that next time we produce a video like this, YouTube will automatically notify you. And to the subscribers, I want to continue thanking you guys for your continued support, because without that support, this channel cannot be where it is. And for this particular video, ladies and gentlemen, I want to make this request. Please just give it thumbs up. Just press that thumbs up button. And if you can, please drop your comment and allow me to thank the following people. You are seeing their names on the screen there for the coffee which they sent me earlier today. You can also do the same using the numbers you are seeing on your screen, because it goes a long way in helping me create more content. Ladies and gentlemen, now let us get back to the main issue and begin by looking at this list. First of all, there are several things which I've noted. The first thing I've noted is that from this list, nobody is actually representing Musalia Mudavadi. Do we conclude that William Ruto has shortchanged Musalia Mudavadi? That's another question I'm asking myself. The other thing which is also clear is that from this list, I can't pinpoint who is representing Rigathi Gachagua. But from this list, you can clearly tell who is representing Moses Masika Wetangula. Now let us go through the list and begin by Kimani Ichung'wah. Why do you think Kimani Ichung'wah has been appointed?
It's not a pre-wedding committee. We are not forming a pre-wedding committee to sit and arrange some wedding between two people. This was a committee that was to be set up with a specific 5-point agenda. And therefore, Kenyans need to ask themselves, when Azimio released their statement on an Azimio letterhead, and the agreement was we shall do a joint statement. That is why you saw the statement I signed was on a plain paper. And it read it was a joint statement between Azimio and Kenya Kwanza, because it followed a meeting between the two leaders and with a facilitator. And I would dare them. Let them get President Olusegun Obasanjo to confirm whether what is in my statement and not facts.
Several reasons. Number one, he's the majority leader in the National Assembly. And being a majority leader, and based on earlier statement which was released, he automatically secured his position there on the table. Just like Wandai on the other side, who is the minority leader. The second reason why Kimani Ichung'wah is on this list is because of the Mount Kenya politics. He's going to represent the interest of Mount Kenya. But the other question is, why would Ruto elevate Kimani Ichung'wah for that matter? And number three, I also tend to think that Kimani Ichung'wah is a close associate of William Ruto. I don't think he can go against William Ruto's wish. So which means if William Ruto is keen on these talks, then he can always push them through Kimani Ichung'wah. The second individual is Aaron Cheruiyot, the majority leader at the Senate, the Kericho senator, a close ally of William Samoei Arap Ruto. So for me, if you ask me, he's supposed to represent the interests of the Kalenjin nation and the interests of William Samoei Arap Ruto. And for me, if there are certain things which William Ruto would want to be achieved, he was going to use this gentleman called Aaron Chariot.
Mtu asikuchochee mpaka unastukia umepiga jirani yako, umechokozana. Mimi nataka niwaombe nyinyi wakazi wa eneo hili. Mumekaa kwa miaka mingi mkiwa marafiki, jamii ya Kipsigis na Wajaluo. Tafadhali, msikubali ati mnachochewa na siasa ile inaendelea Nairobi mpaka mnaanza kuchokozana wenyewe kwa wenyewe. Hiyo ni maneno ambaye wakubwa watazungumza, siku ile watasalimiana, maisha yao itabadilika, lakini yako na mtoto wako ambaye ameumia. So tafadhali tuzungumzie vijana wetu, tuwaambie msikubali uchochezi wa kisiasa.
Then there is Cecil Mbarire, the UDA chairperson. Why do you think Ruto picked Mbarire and not Anne Waiguru and not Musalia Mudavadi? And of course, Musalia Mudavadi cannot be appointed because this is a political process. Mudavadi is now not a politician. Why do you think he picked on Mbarire? You know, Mbarire had worked with this gentleman before, with Raila Odinga, Kalonzo Musyoka. Probably, I think that's why he has picked on her, and also to take the interest of UDA. Then let us go to Hassan Omar. Hassan Omar, I can also say the same, one of the headliners in Kenya Kwanza, but his being in this team probably, in my view, if you ask me, is to be the link between Kenya Kwanza and Kalonzo Musyoka. I'm saying this because Hassan Omar was the Secretary General of Wiper before joining UDA. So it means he understands the operation of Kalonzo. And again, he's also worked very closely with Raila Odinga. So I'm looking at his presence here in that direction. I don't think Hassan Omar will have a problem going to Raila's office to discuss some of these things with Raila Odinga. And I don't think he will have a problem going to Kalonzo's office just to discuss some of these things with Kalonzo Musyoka. And of course, the last person there is Wambelianga, who is now the face of Ford Kenya. Moses Masika Wetangula. But why is it that nobody is representing Musalia Mudavadi? That is the biggest question. Now, let us now go to the second aspect, which I've also observed here. If you look at this team, it's young. You have Kimani Ichung'wah being paired with Kalonzo Musyoka. Their personalities are complete contrast. So is it possible that William Ruto wanted to have a weaker team which he can easily guide? He can easily ask to show a bit of respect. Because, and this is something which I explained yesterday, that Azimio ought to have waited for Kenya Kwanza to unveil their team. So that if they give Kalonzo, if they give people like Kimani Ichung'wah, then on the other side, they would have given people like Babu Owino to come for showdown. But I tend to think that it's a blend. I've seen ODM supporters and Azimio supporters really worried. But for me, I'm looking at it from a different perspective, that William Ruto wanted his team to appear weaker so that he can always be giving them instructions and that they'll be able to listen. I think, if you ask me, I don't think Kimani Ichung'wah will be able to just lecture Kalonzo Musyoka. He would do to, let's say, a fellow member of parliament. So the team is being young. Azimio team is a bit old. So I'm looking at it from blending. I'm looking at Kenya Kwanza team and Azimio team. You know, Azimio, they have Okongo Mogeni, who is a serious lawyer. In Kenya Kwanza side, Hassan Omar is a lawyer, but I'm not sure whether he has practiced since left college, but he's a lawyer. So the finer details, probably someone else, but I'm not so sure. Then I'm also looking at this list and I'm seeing William Ruto going for his trusted allies. If you've been following this handshake issue, the name of Kimani Ichung'wah has always been there. That is one of the individuals who actually went to Ruto and pleaded with Ruto to agree to talks with Raila Odinga. Outside there, most people believe that Kimani Ichung'wah is a headliner. So probably because of the softened stance which he took, probably that's why he has been appointed. I don't know what you think. Let us wait for this team. And I want to ask you the last question. Do you expect anything positive to come out from this team? Let me know in the comment section. Thank you guys, and may you have a good day. Bye-bye.